In the first episode, we looked at Jesus' request to his disciples, his followers, to go to the other side of Lake Galilee. We imagined their response. We know it had been another busy day following Jesus. And most likely they simply wanted to go home, to get a bit of normality. They might even have been confused, surprised that Jesus would want to go to the other side when things seemed to be going so well right where they were. But regardless of their response, today we see Jesus' disciples, his core group of followers, setting out on that journey, full of trepidation, uncertainty as to what they might find when they reach the other side. Here's what Mark writes next. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along, just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. And so, as we picture them wading through the waters of the lake to reach their boat, most likely a fishing vessel, Mark, our author, we see, takes care to draw our attention to certain things. Now, when these things are included in the Bible, they're there for a reason. We have to ask ourselves, what was Mark choosing to tell me? What did he want me to know? They left the crowd behind. Remember, they'd been acting as crowd control all day, as people did all they could to get some time with Jesus. Leaving the crowd behind was a chance to get some peace, to recharge their batteries, a chance just to be. Now, the coronavirus may have forced most of us into our homes, but that doesn't mean we'll have found peace. I know there are many of you who have children or other family members that you need to look after. Many who've decided that this is the time to get all the jobs done that you've been meaning to do for ages. And many who are glued to the news, glued to social media. I want to encourage you, if that's you, try and carve out some time if you can to just be. And there are also those who continue to work through all of this. The health workers, emergency services, teachers, those who work in shops or making deliveries, those who volunteered in so many different ways. It's my prayer that you too get some time to rest and recharge throughout this. Moments when you can leave the crowd behind. Mark then tells us that they took him along. They took Jesus with them. Now, on one level, there's a great reminder here for all of us that we weren't made to do life alone, that no one is meant to face anything, especially something like the coronavirus and all that comes with it, alone. Take a moment. Think of some of the best times that you've ever had. The chances are they've been with other people. Think of some of the really special moments you've had. The chances are they've been with other people. And now think of the most difficult times you've had. The moments where you might almost have lost hope. The chances are that they too have almost always been made easier because you had other people walking alongside you. You had other people in your boat. Surely these words are reminding us that we're in this boat together. And that doesn't mean sitting at either end, but obviously 2 meters apart. We should sit alongside one another, supporting one another, depending on one another. And if we can see people in danger of being left behind on the shore, then it's our responsibility to get them into the boat. It might only be a text or a phone call, a bit of shopping, a few words, but something that helps ensure we take everyone along. But as well as this, these words, they took him along, say something even more powerful. The disciples took Jesus with them. He's the one who called them to go. But the author still makes a point of telling us that they took him along, as though it was a conscious decision, as though they could have chosen to leave him behind if they wanted to. I've spoken to many people in these last few days for whom this situation has had them asking questions, big questions about their lives, about faith. Let me share a secret with you. Even church pastors ask some of those questions in situations like this. And though I can't claim to have all of the answers, I can say for certain that in the midst of everything that is going on in our world, I definitely want Jesus in my boat. And as we're going to discover later in this story, the disciples too would be oh so glad that they made the decision to take him along. Life would certainly have been more difficult had they chosen to leave him behind.